Today, we delve into the darkest moments of history and uncover the brutal reign of Idi Amin. The Ugandan dictator, infamous for his tyrannical rule, committed egregious war crimes that still haunt our collective memory. Join us as we unveil the top 10 war crimes committed by Idi Amin. 10. The expulsion of Asians. In 1972, Idi Amin issued a decree expelling the Asian community from Uganda. Over 60,000 Asians, many of whom were Ugandan citizens, were forced to leave their homes, businesses, and belongings behind, causing immense suffering and displacement. This act of ethnic cleansing and economic sabotage created a void in Uganda's social fabric and damaged its economy for years to come. 9. The persecution of the Acholi tribe. Idi Amin targeted the Acholi tribe, accusing them of plotting against his regime. Thousands were arrested, tortured, and executed, while others were subjected to forced labor and displacement. The Acholi people endured unimaginable pain and loss under Amin's oppressive rule. Their cultural heritage and social structures were systematically dismantled, leaving a lasting impact on the community. 8. The brutal crackdown on political dissent. Amin silenced any form of political opposition through ruthless means. Torture, imprisonment, and execution became common tools used against those who dared to criticize or challenge his regime. Dissenters were met with unimaginable brutality, instilling fear and suppressing any opposition. The systematic elimination of political opponents further consolidated Amin's power and control over the country. 7. The Entebbe hostage crisis. In 1976, Amin supported a hijacking of an Air France plane, resulting in a week-long hostage crisis at Entebbe Airport. The rescue operation led by Israeli forces resulted in the deaths of several hostages, highlighting Amin's involvement in international terrorism and disregard for human life. The Entebbe hostage crisis exposed Amin's willingness to use innocent lives as bargaining chips for his own political gain. 6. The invasion of Tanzania. Amin's aggression extended beyond Uganda's borders. In 1978, he launched a military invasion of Tanzania, resulting in a brutal war that caused immense suffering, displacement, and loss of life. The invasion demonstrated Amin's willingness to engage in destructive conflicts for his own political agenda. The prolonged conflict between Uganda and Tanzania left scars on both nations and strained regional stability. 5. The Ugandan genocide. Amin's regime was responsible for the deaths of an estimated 300,000 Ugandans, marking one of the darkest chapters in the country's history. Mass killings, torture, and systematic violence were carried out against ethnic and political groups, leaving scars that still linger today. The genocide targeted individuals based on their ethnicity, political beliefs, or perceived threats to Amin's regime, resulting in widespread fear and mistrust among the population. 4. The use of child soldiers. Amin exploited and manipulated young children by forcibly recruiting them as child soldiers. These innocent victims were indoctrinated, trained, and forced to commit acts of violence, robbing them of their childhood and perpetuating a cycle of violence and trauma. The use of child soldiers not only violated international conventions but also had devastating long-term consequences on the physical and psychological well-being of these children. 3. The brutal repression of women. Women in Uganda suffered immensely under Amin's regime. They were subjected to sexual violence, rape, and widespread abuse. The systematic repression and objectification of women perpetuated a culture of fear and inequality. The scars left by this gender-based violence continue to affect Ugandan society, highlighting the urgent need for gender equality and justice. 2. The disappearances and mass graves. Amin's regime conducted forced disappearances, with victims being abducted and never seen again. Many were executed and buried in mass graves, which were later discovered as chilling evidence of the regime's crimes. The families of the disappeared were left in anguish, never knowing the fate of their loved ones. The legacy of these mass graves serves as a haunting reminder of Amin's reign of terror. 1. The torture chambers. Amin's regime operated numerous torture chambers, such as the infamous State Research Bureau and Makindi military barracks. Countless innocent individuals were subjected to unimaginable torture, brutality, and dehumanization. The purpose of these chambers was to extract information, instill fear, and crush any opposition to Amin's rule. The horrors endured by the victims serve as a testament to the depths of Amin's sadism and the complete disregard for human rights. Idi Amin's reign of terror forever scarred Uganda's history. We must remember and honor the victims, ensuring that such atrocities are never repeated.